My goal for today in this video was supposed to be a two-part video, how I train myself mentally and how I train myself physically, or how I was going to train myself physically for today. But due to me pushing myself too hard physically, as I most generally do, I went to the surgeon when I got my staples out. I told him about everything, and my surgeon began, he subscribed to me, and he said I was pushing myself too hard in one of my videos, and I I ignored it, I'm not gonna lie, but what is happening is, though, basically, my abs are getting sore, and when they're getting sore, the more sore they get, the more it will constrict around the tube, because the tubes are going through all of my muscles and tissues and all of that. It's nothing serious, it's just, it causes me discomfort. It's the same feeling basically as if you run or work out too much and you don't keep yourself hydrated enough, and it's just like a stitch in your side. So I'm still going to do the physical part of what I wanted to do, but I'm going to have to do it a lot slower. So basically, to start, I think one of the most critical ways you can train your mind is to write everything down and organize your thoughts. Before that, though, meditation is always a big thing, because it allows you to go into a place where you are by yourself and you can prioritize. You think of the most top 10 priorities that you can ever think of that make you happy and that will give you a successful life. I used to do it all the time, and at that time, like, I was the manager at where I worked. I was making good money. I had a very nice car. I was able to splurge money whenever I wanted to. Always had it. Now I basically have nothing and I have no car because of I didn't meditate for like 2 weeks straight, and I started doing dumb shit, and then this happened. So definitely meditation, that is key. Definitely above writing your shit down. But when you write your shit down, I like to have two journals myself personally, but everybody has their own preferences. In the first journal, it's basically like a diary, but I'm a fucking man. I have a journal, not a diary. But I think of the first 5 things that I want to get done in a day, like the things that need done the most. This yard, if I had a before picture, it was crazy. It looked like a mini jungle. The bushes were not shaped. The weeds were overgrown. We were like 2 days away from getting like a $300 service charge for the city cutting the grass. So we got all of that done, and basically this is how it looks now. Like, we were able to get all of this shit done. And yeah. So if you're wondering what this is, I've never been to a gym in my life. This motherfucking thing right here is what I've been using to help me train. Basically, right now, it acts as like a body thing and a speed bag. Because just like a speed bag, you can hit it and it bounces back. Now, when I get things started and actually start fucking with it, we're gonna put weights in here so we can hit it with full force and it'll knock back. Up here, I'm gonna put a basketball and slightly deflate it. I don't know how I'm gonna get it up there. I'm thinking about like cutting a U shape right here and just, I'll figure it out. And I'm going to put a rod in the middle of here. I'm going to put tie ropes connected to weights, so that way whenever I'm practicing any sort of submission or capoeira like counter, it'll basically just teeter like the human body does. So I'm not really able to do the physical part, but I'm going to do it very slow so I'm not testing myself, and also show you the combo that I feel like would be very critical at the end of that, what I will end the video with. Don't get me wrong, I would love to say I made this, but it showed his viewers this. Also, besides the journals for the mental training, I try to do something new every day. So today I decided I wanted to take this 7-minute and 22-second video and break it down bit by bit. So everything that I saw that helped me was, I paid attention to how he did all of his footing, I paid attention to all of his words, I paid attention to all of his strikes and wrote all of it down. And I just put it all in writing. Like, this is all I got from the 7-minute and 22-second video, like writing and everything. And basically, first, it's everything that I feel like I need to work on personally, and I work on that till I feel I have complete mastery of it. And of course, through Sydney, there's a white guy in a Buick bumping music. Anyways, thanks for the interruption, asshole. complete loss of thought. Okay, anyways, back to the thought. And my physical can't do it, so let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Fuck it, if I am, I'll cover it in the actual one. So, whenever I am not sore anymore, I'm going to just do this, but fast, same thing. Finish up boxing, and move on to the next form. I was going to have the Caleb, who has been in the most other video before I went and get my stitches when the brain damage first started being a problem. He was going to do it, but he had some shit of his own to handle, if you know what I mean, and it sounded pretty heavy, let's just put it that way. So I'm going to hand the camera over to my beautiful girlfriend and show you what I was going to try to work on physically, but very fucking slow. Oh, here you go, baby. Basically, this is just basically how to get in close and how to critically fuck someone up, pretty much. Now, if you could just at first focus it on my feet. Alright, you never want to start too close to them or too far away from them. You want to start to where you can have one step in, one full step in. Me, myself, make everything your own. But with my feet, I like to keep them at least 1.5 feet, at most 2 feet apart. So, that, basically this. Just enough so you can step in. So, to get around to the side, I like to refer to it as a side slide. So, I do it, I do my step in, then I step back, then I just visualize everything. Then I stop and I think. I slow my brain down until it can happen, okay? So if you're trying to go to the side, you'll be in. If you're trying to go to this side right here, you start in the southpaw stance. You do your step in, and then you step to the side, completely pivot. So if you're squared up like this in front, you end up over here. Right here, they have so many blockages. And although yes, if you, what I refer to as pick up the phone, they can do this and everything, yes of course, but once you get over here, you can sweep the leg, hit anywhere from here, anywhere basically. Like, they're your bitch, okay? So, a combo that I learned was, if you're going in, you can just boom, boom, boom. And all he told me was, when you're doing it, imagine there's a rope connecting your wrist to your ankle. And when you're throwing it and it connects, that's when you want your foot to plant. So you move it all together. You step in, plant. You bring it all back. Basically, all the same things. So if I'm doing it all, it's easy. It's easy. If you don't mind, do you mind standing up, baby? Just scoot back a little bit. So I'm gonna go to this side. Now the thing he taught me that would get you ejected from a boxing match that I feel like would be a critical hit. Like critical, crazy. Alright, so you're starting, you go boom, 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 boom. And that's that, but you bring it up and over from the top. If you hit it right in this area, you could crush the skull. But, I need to go upstairs and rest because that fucking hurt.